Welcome back, everyone, to Actual English. My name is Jennifer Clyde. It's time for lesson 255, and today's topic is 광복절. Now, of course, every nation has their own very important days. Not just one, but several days that are commemorated or celebrated each and every year. Days that are meant to be remembered for those that have sacrificed their lives, and to think that we are here because of a certain incident or because of those that have lost their lives for us or have fought for us. So 광복절 is a very important day to Koreans, of course. There are days such as Independence Day in other countries as well. Maybe not every single country, but they do celebrate days very similar to 광복절. So it is very important. We always say, let's not just think of 광복절 or any other significant holiday such as this as just a day off from work or a day that we don't go to school. People, or we often forget about the importance of these days, but yes, we should take a moment, at least a few moments of your day, to really think and, thank those for making us be here, okay? So let's talk about 광복절 today, beginning with actual talk.
So Independence Day, it's a big thing here. I mean, obviously, the end of the annexation from Japan in 45,
right?
And also the double link with Syngman Rhee being sworn in 1948 on the same date.
Okay, so the same date, but a few years later.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of a really big deal here.
Right.
I mean, I think North Korea also celebrated on the same day, but obviously not the swearing in bit. But
right. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Have you sort of been involved in the celebrations or anything like that?
I was here last year for it, and I saw some big kind of celebration near Seoul Arts Center. Of course, you see down along Namsan Road, you see lots of flags and other places as well. I didn't know it's actually the same day as Independence Day in India.
No way.
And I think there's one other country as well. How about England? Do they celebrate an Independence Day?
No, I don't think we do.
Okay, in America we have the 4th of July.
Right, okay.
And it's summer, so usually people barbecue, get together with their family, lots of meat grilling and beer drinking.
Yeah, I'm not sure the system here in terms of food and drinking and stuff like that, but I definitely know it's a public holiday, so you get a day off work.
Okay.
And there's a big sort of ceremony, I think, official ceremony where the official song is played or sung.
Okay.
So it's a different system here, I guess.
It's a pretty significant day in history, I think, not only for Korea, but just even as a foreigner, I feel like that. It would be interesting to see how they celebrate it, and I don't know, I'd like to go see that ceremony one day.
Yeah, well, I think they have a big sort of bash going on at the Seoul Arts Center.
Right.
So I think if you're interested, you can even watch on TV, I think. So maybe we should do that.
I'll have to check it out on Naver or something.
Welcome back, everyone. How did you find the conversation between Eugene and Mary? Let's take you straight into the actual talk conversation. Here we go. Eugene began by saying, so, Independence Day. It is a big thing here. Thing? We're not talking about an object, but we're saying that it is of importance. Great importance. It is a big thing. It is very, very important here, meaning in Korea. I mean, obviously, evidently, the end of the annexation from Japan, okay? He's talking about the Japanese occupation. Another word for annexation is takeover. This is basically the act or the instance of attaching or adding territory, especially new territory. There often are annex buildings to buildings, right? So there's the main building and there's the annex. So we're talking about a takeover, Japanese occupation. In year 45, and also the double link with Syngman Rhee being sworn in 1948 on the same date. So a double link Or there's something very similar called a double bind, which means that it is a situation that somehow has two people or two subjects tied together, okay? So we're saying that there is some sort of similarity, okay, involving two people or even two subjects. Moving on, so Mary listens and says, okay, so the same date, but a few years later, okay? Same date meaning the same month and the day, but perhaps she says a few years later, meaning it happened in a different year. Moving on, Eugene says, yeah, so it's kind of a really big deal here. If you say that something is a big deal, you're saying that it is of great significance or of importance. A person can be a big deal, okay, but mostly something can be a big deal, meaning it's very, very important. It's considered to be important. I mean, I think North Korea also celebrates it on the same date, but obviously, once again, evidently, not the swearing in bit. So we're just saying that even North Koreans celebrate this day. Now, if you think about celebrations, what do you think of? You may think of a party, festivities, fireworks, balloons, and, lightings, just a lot of excitement going on, right? It's a very happy and festive mood. But often we say that we celebrate a certain day. It does not necessarily mean that it is a happy day and we're doing fireworks and everyone is partying, but it also means to commemorate. So celebrate also can mean to commemorate, remember in some cases. Moving on, Mary says, right, oh, I didn't know that. Have you sort of been involved in any of the celebrations or anything like that? Have you been involved in something? Meaning, have you been a part of something? Have you ever participated in celebrations or anything like that? Well, Mary says, I was here last year for it. We're talking about perhaps this very important day, Independence Day. And she says, and I saw some big kind of celebration near the Seoul Arts Center. So she has seen one or witnessed one in this area around the Seoul Arts Center. Of course, you see along Namsan Road, another place. You see lots of flags and of course other places as well. So we do see the national flag, the Korean flag, flown everywhere. You'll see them on buildings, apartment buildings. I do recall seeing some taxis with the small Korean flag attached to their cars too. So that is what she is talking about, flags meaning the Korean flag. I didn't know it's actually the same day as Independence Day in India. This I was not aware of either. So I guess Independence Day in India falls on the same date. And I think there's one other country as well. And then she says, how about England? What is it like in England? Do they celebrate an Independence Day? Or she also could have said, do you celebrate Independence Day? Because, of course, Eugene is from the UK, is from London, so she could have asked, do you celebrate Independence Day? Is there an Independence Day in London or in the UK as well? No, I don't think we do, he says. Okay. Mary says, okay, in America, we have the 4th of July. Okay, and it's summer, so usually people barbecue. But first of all, let's take it up till here. In America, we have the 4th of July. You can also say in America, we have Independence Day. And it falls on so and so and so. You can add the date there. It's also called 4th of July, Independence Day. And now she explains what people usually do on the 4th of July. So what happens? It's in the summer because it's in July. So usually people barbecue. Barbecue in this sense, it's used in the verb form, okay? So people do barbecues. People have barbecues. People have barbecue parties, okay? You may like barbecue, so it can be used in the noun form and also in the verb form, okay? But here she's saying people barbecue, meaning people have barbecues. They get together with their family. lots of meat grilling and beer drinking. So she says that the 4th of July in America involves a lot of or lots of meat grilling, meaning people grill meat, and there's lots of beer drinking, meaning people drink a lot of beer as well. Okay, moving on. Eugene says, yeah, I'm not sure the system here in terms of food. Okay, he's talking about the system here, meaning how things are done on Independence Day in Korea. Now, if you say that something is in terms of something, you're saying with regard to a particular subject or an aspect of something. Okay, in terms of something, with regards to something, food and drinking and stuff like that. But what does he know? I definitely know it's a public holiday. It is a national holiday. It is a public holiday. If you say that a day, a special day is a national holiday or a public holiday, you're saying that most likely that day is a day off for people. Kids don't have to go to school, and of course adults do not have to go to work. Okay? So you get a day off work. There we go. Get a day off work, which means you do not have to go to work. Here, it is a day off, which means you get just one day off work. You don't have to go to work for one day, that day. And there's a big sort of ceremony. And he says, I think official ceremony. Okay, moving on. But official means what? Official can mean something that is conclusive, something that is definite or public. Okay, so he's saying, I think there is an official ceremony where the official song is played or sung. So a song can be played. Usually if you play a song through speakers, you can say a song is being played. Or if it's sung, that is the past of sing. Okay, sing, sang, sung. So sung. People may sing the official song. In that case, the song is sung and not played. So you know, it's a different system here, I guess, he says. Moving on. Mary says it's a pretty significant day in history, I think. Okay, of course, not only for Korea, but even as a foreigner, she says. What is significant? Okay, you all know. Significant, put in easy words. Well, a simple word for significant is very important. That is a synonym for significant. So she's saying it is a pretty important day in history. It is a pretty significant day in history, not only for Korea or not only for Koreans, but even for foreigners. That's what she's saying. It would be interesting to see how they celebrate it. And she says, I'd like to go see that ceremony one day. Go see something. Now, in between the go and see, there should have been a to. I would like to go to see, or I would like to go and see, okay, that ceremony. So either to or and, but often in colloquial English, the to or and is omitted. It's taken out. So it's very natural to say, I would like to go see that ceremony. I would like to go see that person. I would like to go see that movie, okay? So that is what she says. And then moving on, Eugene says, well, I think they have a big sort of bash going on at the Seoul Arts Center. What is a bash? It's informal, okay, it's slang, bash, B-A-S-H. It's another word for a party, celebration, for example, okay? So he says, I think they have a big bash, a big party, a celebration going on, meaning happening at the Seoul Arts Center. I think if you're interested, you can even watch it. Where? On TV. So maybe we should do that. Now, you often watch things on television, okay? You can listen to things on the radio as well. You don't watch it in TV, you watch it on television. You may listen to a program on the radio as well, okay? So he's saying usually they have something, some kind of bash or a celebration going on at the Seoul Arts Center. So if you want to check it out, you can either watch it on television or go yourself and check it out in person, which means to go to that place yourself to experience or to watch it. And then she says, oh, okay, I'll have to check it out on Naver or something. Check it out. In this case means what? She's going to have to do some research. She's saying, oh, maybe I'll look it up on Naver or something. Maybe I'll Naver it. Maybe I'll Google it. Actually, these days, Naver or Google or whatever search engine you're using or site, you can just use it as a verb. Maybe I should search it on Google. You can also say, maybe I can Google it. So it's used that way as well. So anyhow, she's saying I will have to check it out. I will have to find out more about this on Naver or something. And they bring the conversation to an end. It wasn't too difficult, was it? Not too tricky, but there were a few new words hidden here and there in the conversation. So let's take a look at it one more time.
So Independence Day, it's a big thing here. I mean, obviously, the end of the annexation from Japan in 45,
Right.
and also the double link with Syngman Rhee being sworn in 1948 on the same date.
Okay, so the same date, but a few years later.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of a really big deal here.
Right.
I mean, I think North Korea also celebrated on the same day, but obviously not the swearing in bit. But
Right. Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, have you sort of been involved in the celebrations or anything like that?
I was here last year for it, and I saw some big kind of celebration near Seoul Arts Center. Of course, you see down along Namsan Road, you see lots of flags and other places as well. I didn't know it's actually the same day as Independence Day in India.
No way.
And I think there's one other country as well. How about England? Do they celebrate an Independence Day?
No, I don't think we do.
Okay, in America we have the 4th of July.
Right, okay.
And it's summer, so usually people barbecue, get together with their family, lots of meat grilling and beer drinking.
Yeah, I'm not sure the system here in terms of food and drinking and stuff like that, but I definitely know it's a public holiday, so you get a day off work.
Okay.
And there's a big sort of ceremony, I think, official ceremony where the official song is played or sung.
Okay.
So it's a different system here, I guess.
It's a pretty significant day in history, I think, not only for Korea, but just even as a foreigner, I feel like that. It would be interesting to see how they celebrate it. And I don't know, I'd like to go see that ceremony one day.
Yeah, well, I think they have a big sort of bash going on at the Seoul Arts Center.
Right.
So I think if you're interested, you can even watch it on TV, I think. So maybe we should do that.
I'll have to check it out on Naver or something.
Welcome back, everyone. Now it's time for actual expressions. Let's first of all take a look at some vocab words from the actual talk conversation and then move on to a couple patterns to practice. The first word we have for you here is annexation. If you take a look, although it's A-N-N-E-X, yes, if you take a look at the pronunciation, it's more of an ick sound. It's not ek, it's ick, ick. Annexation, annexation. So it means or incorporation or takeover. As we did mention earlier, it has something to do with the act or instance of attaching or adding something, such as a new building, okay, or new territory. That's why we often have a building and it's annex building, okay? So keep that in mind. Moving on to our next word is official. Official means what? Conclusive, okay, or even definite. So basically, if you say official, you mean that it's authorized or issued authoritatively. Moving on to significant, it's also an easy word, but here we go. The stress goes on nif, significant, and it means important. Bash may be a new word. It's, as I told you, an informal word. It's more of a casual word, and it means celebration. Or another slang you might want to use, call it a wingding. Okay, so bash is slang, it's informal, and definitely wingding is slang for celebration as well. Okay, now let's move on to today's pattern. If something is a big deal, you're saying that what? It is very important. It's considered important. So let's check out a sample sentence. Here we go. The party was a big deal to me, but I know it wasn't to many, meaning many other people. Okay, so the party was very meaningful to me, or it was a big deal to me, but to other people, it wasn't as important. It wasn't really a big deal. So big deal means something or someone of great importance or even consequence. Hey, it's a big deal, meaning it's important. It's not a big deal. It's not important, okay? Moving on to in terms of. With regard to something is another way of saying it, but you will hear in terms of something very commonly. So here we go. In terms of food, with regard food. When it comes to food, for example, it was great, but the diner was dingy. This may be a new word as well. In terms of food, when it comes to food, when it came to food, okay, food-wise is another way of saying it. The food was good, but the environment of the place, the diner, was kind of dingy. What is dingy? If you say that a building is dingy, you're saying that it's kind of depressing. It's kind of dark and gloomy. Dingy can also mean that it's kind of dirty and dull as well. So try to combine all those words. Depressing, dark, dull, and dirty. Not a very appetizing atmosphere, right? So one more time. In terms of food, it was great. But the diner was dingy. It wasn't all that fancy. Okay, that about does it for today's actual expressions. Practice more on your own.
Gwangbokjeol is Korean Independence Day. It's a national holiday on August 15th. Of course, on that day, you're going to see flags everywhere. It's a day where people take time to honor those who fought for Korean independence. There's some ceremony with the government, and there's parades, and it's just time that you spend time with your family. So it's, just a time to reflect on where you've come. In America, I'm from the United States. In America, we have our Independence Day on July 4th. And similar to Korea, we do the same things. We have parades and ceremonies. But one thing we also do is we spend time with our family by eating barbecue. We have hot dogs and hamburgers, those kinds of things. It's really fun and delicious. And to be honest, though, the best part is at night because there's always a huge fireworks show. It's so beautiful, and you can go to a show where there's thousands of people, or you can do it at your house. Although it's a little bit dangerous to do it at your house, you can do it at your house and just enjoy the beautiful night sky and honor those who fought so hard for our independence.
We had Whitney helping us out with today's actual story segment. What did she talk about? Of course, we're talking about Gwangbokjeol, Independence Day, a day that makes it possible for us to stand here and be who we are. It allows us to be living this world or this generation, okay? So let's find out what Whitney has mentioned in her actual story response. Here we go. She said, it's a day where people take time to honor those who fought for Korean independence. So if you take time to do something, you're doing what? You're making time to do something. You're not doing it by chance or, it just happens. If you do something, especially by making time to, you are saving that time, putting time aside. You're making that extra effort to do something. So it is a day where people take time to honor those who fought for Korean independence. Yes, people may think about those who sacrificed their lives for us. They take time to honor, respect, and remember them. It's a time to reflect on where you've come or where you've come from, okay, or where you have let's say, arrived. So it is a time to, once again, reflect. Reflect on something, which means to think about something, okay, very hard and carefully. You can reflect on your mistakes. You can reflect on your past, which means to really sit and think carefully about it. So it is a time to reflect on where you've come, where you are right now, or where you have come from, for example. To be honest, though, The best part is what? At night, because there's always a huge fireworks show. Okay, so she also likes a part of the celebration that we can all experience on 광복절, right? On this very important day. Huge meaning very massive, big, very huge, very big. Fireworks show. We often see fireworks on these days. Now, keep in mind, we do not say firework shows, always add an S. So with an S, say fireworks. There's fireworks going on. There is a fireworks show going on, okay? Moving on to our final one. Enjoy the beautiful night sky and honor those who fought so hard for our independence. Once again, she's talking about those people that have sacrificed their lives for us. They fought for us, for our independence. So enjoy the beautiful night sky. As you enjoy the fireworks going on or happening, but at the same time, remember those who fought for our independence. Honor those who have fought so hard for our independence. So thanks to Whitney once again for a wonderful response. Let's take a listen to it one more time.
광복절 is Korean Independence Day. It's a national holiday on August 15th. Of course, on that day, you're going to see flags everywhere. It's a day where people take time to honor those who fought for Korean independence. There's some ceremony with the government and there's parades, and it's just time that you spend time with your family. So it's, just a time to reflect on where you've come. In America, I'm from the United States. In America, we have our Independence Day on July 4th. And similar to Korea, we do the same things. We have parades and ceremonies. But one thing we also do is we spend time with our family by eating barbecue. We have hot dogs and hamburgers, those kinds of things. It's really fun and delicious. And to be honest though, the best part is at night because there's always a huge fireworks show. It's so beautiful, and you can go to a show where there's thousands of people, or you can do it at your house. Although it's a little bit dangerous to do it at your house, you can do it at your house and just enjoy the beautiful night sky and honor those who fought so hard for our independence.
Come to think of it, days such as 광복절, very important days we should really take a moment to honor those who fought for us or fought for our independence. Now, these days are so important, so precious to us. Very important days in our history, but it's sad to see that the importance of it is being slowly forgotten, especially by the younger generation, our kids, for example. So I think it is important, or it would be important for parents to be responsible, okay? Teach your children the importance of these days. Educate them, talk to them, show them what you can show them. Teach them the history of, Korea. Take them to very special places on these days to educate them and to let them know how important these days are, and perhaps how people have sacrificed their lives for us and have, of course, fought for our independence. Let them know we're here because of them, okay? So I hope you had a lot of fun today with our program, and of course, most of all, I hope you learned a lot and had fun. So if you have any questions, feel more than free to let us know. Next time we'll talk about a different category. We'll move on to recycling, perhaps taking care of our environment. So our next topic is recycling. Please do tune in for that. In the meantime, come to our homepage, everyone. Come on over to www.ebse.co.kr. Look for Actual English with Jennifer and just post things up on our message board. Okay, that is a wrap for today's lesson. I'll catch you again next time. Until then, take care and bye for now.